Hello Cloudies. I am Sanjay, a sophomore and a coordinator at AWS Cloud Club Amrita Vidyapeetham. Today, I'll be guiding you through an insightful presentation on Amazon EC2, often called the backbone of cloud computing, to help you understand its significance and power. So, let's dive straight in. Before we start today's presentation, let me give a glimpse of it. In today's generation, 90% of the developers know the main content, but they don't know what the exact definition of it. So let's start with definitions and let's move on to why do we need EC2 basically. And then we'll try launching an EC2 instance in the AWS console and complete today's presentation with a summary. So let's begin. I know it's really funny to see this definition here, but I'm sure not everyone seeing this knows what AWS is. So what is AWS? It is a cloud computing platform offering physical hardware in a software inside a software machine. It allows businesses to scale up or scale down without requiring large physical hardware like servers, datasets, and databases, and etc. Think AWS as an e-commerce platform where you can rent PCs instead of building new ones. So let's move on to the actual topic. What is Amazon EC2? EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Think it as a magic computer in the cloud that turns on anytime and every time you need. You can run websites, apps, games, and even AI models on it. For example, think you own a pizza shop, and suddenly a huge crowd comes inside your shop, and you need more ovens to cook pizzas. This time, you can use EC2 to rent more ovens and cook pizzas and return those ovens immediately by paying a small fee to them. So, now why do we need EC2 basically? Think you're a software developer and you have developed an app for Windows and suddenly you have to test it on Mac OS. Now you can't go and buy a Mac PC for it. You can rent a EC2 instance with Mac OS and test your software in it. Also, when you need some extra computing power, EC2 provides flexible resources without long-term commitments. And you can also run your machine learning and AI models without expensive graphics cards or expensive hardware on it. At last, you can also host your websites and use it as a server. Now, let's dive into the Amazon AWS console and launch a new EC2 instance. This is how AWS console's homepage looks like. Now, let's search for EC2. This is how the EC2's homepage looks like. Now, click on Launch Instance. Let's name our web server. I'll basically name it Sanjay. And now we have to select a OS image for our PC. There are multiple OS options available: Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat, and etc. Here, let me choose Ubuntu as it is free to use and available everywhere and open source too. Moving on to the instance type. Let me move on to the presentation again to give a glimpse of instance types. There are basically four types of instances: T type, C type, R type, and I type. T type is used for general purpose. C type is used for high performance processing. R type is used for large RAM and storage issues. And lastly, I type is used for servers. Select our instance as T2 itself because we don't require much now. And now we have to create a new key pair for our instance. So what is a key pair? Key pair is like a key to a lock on your instance. Now let's name it as SAN and create key pair. Once you click create key pair, your key pair will be downloaded on your machine. You can use it to open your instance whenever you want. Now, network settings, let's skip this for now as this is a basic thing. And lastly, you have to choose how much RAM you require. In this case, let me keep it as 8. I require 8 only. And click on launch instance to launch it immediately. Click on these instances to see what are the instances you have. Actually, it takes some time to create your instance and configure on this AWS console. So let me show you my previous instance I have created. Click on instance ID to see the summary page and click on connect to connect to your machine. You have to enter your username, whatever you require, and click on connect. So I have loaded my instance here. This is like a classic Ubuntu machine. You can run whatever you want. So I have typed echo and it works similar to any Ubuntu machine in this world. I think it's time for the summary. We have seen what is AWS, what is EC2, why do we need EC2, and a live demonstration of EC2 instance. So I think I have to give you a few note points to make your EC2 journey better. EC2 provides scalable and cost-efficient virtual machines, but choosing the right instance type will help you optimize costs, or else you have to pay a hectic amount of bill to AWS. So we make sure you chose the right instance type. Also, EC2 can be used to try your softwares in OSs that you don't have physical access to. Finally, I think it's the time to end my presentation. Signing off, Sanjay is a sophomore and coordinator of AWS Cloud Club. Thank you. Have a nice day.